embodiment of that day. Any of you ever heard of William Blake? If you haven't, I want you to check him out. William Blake said something really interesting. He said, I do not consider either the just or the wicked to be in a supreme state, but to be every one of them states of the sleep with the soul may fall into its daily dreams of good and evil when it leaves paradise following the serpent. So what does this mean? It means that we came into this life to experience death. Everything is born, everything lives, and then everything dies. Everything appears, it stays for a while, and then it disappears, right? So everything dies in this world. And the last state of mind that we have to overcome is death on this earth. But don't get it confused, because death on this earth does not mean spiritual death. See, your spirit and your soul is immortal. Your spirit and your soul is all imagination. And that imagination is God Himself. There is no other God. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. You shall have no other gods before me. God actually became I am, so I may be as He is. Oh, so God became man. He didn't pretend to become man. You can't pretend and influence anything on this earth. You have to embody and completely become man to forget that you are God. Oh, and that's what we all have done. We are the God that became humanity so that humanity can become God. Mm. So when you get the full grasp of these states of mind, and you can forgive anybody and everybody for anything that they may have done to you, because you'll understand that they only fell into a state and they're just representing the state that they're in at the moment. Some of us have friends or people that we know that have fallen in the state of being a scammer, right? And they're actually enjoying being in that state. They think they're doing amazing, much better than if they were waking up every morning and going to work and making $8 to $10 an hour, right? He think he's doing fine. He think he has it all. But wait, hold up. Now here comes the consequences of being in that state, right? Is he willing to pay the price to be in that state? 10 times out of 10, he is not. And he doesn't regret the state that he was in. He just regrets that he got caught. Oh, just think about it. You will not meet one scammer that got caught that regrets that they were a scammer. They only regret the fact that they got caught. They're just trying to figure out what did they do wrong so that if it happens again, then they'll be aware so they won't get caught. So, guys, we're all in states of mind. Everybody is in a state of mind. And it's beautiful when you know it, when you know that you're in a state, because when you know it, then you can deliberately take yourself in and out of the states that you choose to be in. So if you want to be in a state of prosperity, you have to ask yourself some questions. What would it be like to have prosperity? What would the feeling be like if it was true? How would I act if I was rich? How would I eat? What are the type of people that I will be hanging with? How would I spend my time if I was rich? Guys, it's as simple as persuading yourself that you already are all of these things that you wish to be. Yes, it's that simple. And it's sad at the same time because very few people in this world right now are capable of imagining anything. If you could just believe in the reality of your imagination, your life will change tremendously. We're going to do a quick reset of the room. For everybody that's new getting in, this is the Secret Law of Attraction Club. I am the Rise Global, and tonight we're speaking on how imaginal acts become facts. I just want you to sit back, relax, get yourself in a meditative state, fall asleep to this audio if you can, and let it speak to your subconscious mind so you can wake up feeling renewed and refreshed. If you're not yet a member of the Secret Law of Attraction Club, make sure that you add yourself as a member. If this audio file is speaking to you and you want to listen to it outside of Clubhouse without the Clubhouse resets, just make sure you click on my picture and go to my Instagram and go to the website link in my Instagram and you can get the audio file. It's on the website. So let's get back into it. Imaginal acts always become facts. How many of you guys, by a show of hands, I want you to raise your hand. I'm not going to bring you up to the stage. How many of y'all have heard, fake it till you make it? All right. Now, this saying, fake it till you make it, I feel has had some negative light, if you will. People look down on it and think it's a bad thing. But I don't know about that. You know, I was looking at this Oprah interview with Jim Carrey, and Jim shares that when he was broke and he didn't have anything, that he wrote himself a check for $10 million. He was faking it until he made it. Act as if I am, and I will be. Could it really be that simple? Could it really be that easy? I say yes, it is. Why? Because I've experienced it in my life. I've experienced it over and over again to the point that I want to share it with the world. There's a spark in you. God is seeking expression through you. You are one with the creator of the universe. And you have to believe it. You have to know it to be true. There's a reason why all of us are in this room right now. And, you know, not everybody believes what we believe. But it's up to us to lead by example. And since the beginning of time, all of the thought leaders, all of the people that made a stamp on this world were called crazy. So you'll experience that too. But once they see how your life has changed and they see all the things that you have accomplished and they see all the things that you have manifested, you're not going to be so crazy anymore. Then they want to know what you did. How did you do it? How long does it take? Can I do it too? You know? So you got to stay true to your beliefs. You got to stay true to what feels right in your heart, and your imagination will never lead you astray. God will never lead you astray. And those thoughts that you have in your imagination, they are already existing. And I know a lot of people don't get that point, but let me explain it. So, in the beginning was the word, the idea, the imagination. God thought from the end. God assumed. Remember about the assumption? Then, after he assumed, his power went to work. And we do the same thing. We think of what we want. We imagine it, right? And that's the end. When we're thinking about what we want, it's already the end of it. Then we go through these series of events that lead us to that end result. We know the end. We know what we intended. God gave us his power of creation. It's the greatest gift you could ever receive. That's why he is the Alpha and Omega. He already knows the end. We all control our ending. We all have the choice to be whatever we want. There's only one God. And that one God is in you, and that God is the great I am. And I am will never lose its identity. And I am is you. And it will never change. Because that I am is your sense of awareness. That I am is your consciousness. When you say I am, you are being conscious of being something. And I am precedes anything that I have ever been. I must perceive whatever it is that I claim I am. I must say I am before I can say I am rich. Riches don't come before me. I am. Then I can say I am rich. I create the riches because I am is the only reality. And I create that which I assume that I am. When you came to this earth, you came to experience greater and greater versions of yourself, greater versions of I am. So that's why you have to be very conscious of those states of mind that you fall into. And you have to be very, very conscious of the type of people that you surround yourself with, and the type of music that you're listening to, and the type of people that you're following on social media, the type of stories that you're following, the blogs, the gossip. Because you can sit there and you can listen to somebody gossiping about something, and then you fall into that state because that person or that thing has poisoned your mind. And you have fallen into that state that they're in. And now you have to pay the price of being in that state. So, make sure that you are paying attention to what you are aligning yourself with. That is so important, and states of mind are easy to fall in and out of. Imagining creates reality. And imagining created these eternal states that we will forever fall in and out of. So it's time for you to start imagining the best life for yourself. Fall into the best state of mind you can fall into. And it's so easy to fall in and out of them. So you have to be consistent in your vision. Whatever you see for yourself, whatever that beautiful vision is, you have to pray without ceasing. You have to know that it is for you. You have to stand up and say, I am this thing. You have to embody that feeling of that thing before it can come into your world, because you precede that thing. Imaginal acts become facts. And your job is to plant the seed. And what do you do after you plant that seed? You water it. You water it every day, and the way you water your seeds that have been in your imagination is to continue thinking about them. Give them attention. You give your seed attention by watering it, okay? So plant your seed and continue to give it your focus and attention. And keep in mind that that vision, that seed that you planted, has its own appointed hour. You cannot force, you cannot coerce it to blossom when you want it. It does it in its own time. It will ripen, it will flower. And if it takes long, wait. There was this gospel song that my mom and them used to listen to when we were coming up. And it say, he may not come when you want him, but it'll be there right on time. Some manifestations take 24 hours. Some of them take a week. Some of them may take a month, right? Just think about pregnancy. For a lamb, it takes 5 months. For a horse, a whole year. For a human, it takes 9 months, right? Every seed that you plant has its own appointed hour, and all you have to do is pray without ceasing, knowing and feeling and believing that it is yours right now, acting as if being that I am and you will be. We all have to get back in touch with our imagination. Our imagination is a magical thing. And that's what I love so much about the Walt Disney movies. Just think about Cinderella. Think about Aladdin. When we were kids, those were the movies that taught us how to use our imagination. But somewhere in the process of us growing, we begin to lose that urge to imagine. We got to learn how to become more childlike. We got to find that inner child. We got to stop letting the fears of our parents and our ancestors be placed on us and put us in a box. We got to imagine again. So what I've learned in my journey as I continue to evolve is that as I begin to use my imagination and vision and see and believe that the things that I want are already mine, the more I act as if and have the feelings that one day I will touch that reality, it always hardens into facts. It's all about the state of mind that you're in. Have you been in a state of joy, of peace, of happiness? Or have you been in a state of lack or guilt or anger? What have you been imagining for yourself lately? Whatever you've been giving attention to is going to happen for you. Not happen to you, but happen for you. Imaginal acts become facts. It works every single time without fail. And it's all according to your faith and your belief. It is done unto you as you believe. And I love the way Napoleon Hill puts it when he says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I always like to put my little twang on it and say, whatever my mind can conceive and believe, I will achieve. So I want us all to find that inner child today. And I want us all to be high achievers, everybody that's in this room right now. So just sit back, relax, get yourself into a meditative state. Fall asleep if you can to this message. Let it speak to your subconscious mind so you can wake up feeling renewed and refreshed. Before we get into the message today, I just want to give a special shout out to my favorite mentor. He's passed on, but he still lives here in spirit. His name is Neville Goddard, and he inspired this message today. So whenever you get a chance, make sure you look him up. Let's get into it. When we look in the Bible and we read these stories about people that lived, like Adam and Eve and Moses, we've been taught that these are people that actually live like us, right? Well, I want you to think of it in a different way. What if I told you that those people were actually just symbolic of a state of consciousness or a state of mind? And what if I told you that me and you And all of us all have to pass through these different states of consciousness. For example, the name Moses means to be drawn out or pulled out of water, right? Pregnancy, it means to be born. If you look up the name Abraham, it means the father of the multitudes. And we all start there. We all have to travel through these different states of consciousness to our own fulfillment. And at the end, we all have to reach that state of the greatest man that ever walked this earth. And that state is represented by Jesus Christ. So we all must learn to tell the difference between these states and the people that pass through these states. All of these states are forever, and they will always be here. Please understand that we are all spirit, and we are having a human experience. I know a lot of people think that they are a body and they have a soul, but it's the other way around. You are the soul and you have a body. Oh. And these states of mind and these states of consciousness remain permanent forever. But these human bodies are temporary and they pass on. So we change states, but the states remain the same. Just think about if you're traveling in your car and you're traveling into a different city. When you pass through that city, it would be crazy for you to think that that city no longer exists because you passed through it, right? The city remains, but we pass on. We pass from one state to the other state. And finally, we must reach the end. And that end in the Bible is described as Jesus Christ. So you and I, we travel on this journey going in and out of different states of mind. You know, when you're trying to heal yourself and you're trying to heal your friends or your family, it's very important to know about these states and how you can go in and out of them. Let's take, for example, if you have a friend and he's lost his job and he's been out of work for a couple of months and he's in a state of despair, right? He's in a state that he doesn't like and that you don't want to see him in and he doesn't want to see himself in. So there's something special that you can do here. And a lot of the great teachers call it a treatment. It's the same thing that Jesus did when he healed the blind man. It's the same thing that he did when he fed the 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Yes, Lord. See, we have to learn how to separate ourselves from our spirit, right? And when you learn how to separate your human experience in your mind from the spiritual higher part of you, your higher self, you're able to make the impossible possible, right? It helps you to see things in a different light. So again, we have our friend that's unemployed, and your human self sees him as unemployed, but your spiritual self sees him as a perfect being, right? So your job as somebody giving somebody a treatment is to see them how they want to be, okay? So in your imagination, you have to begin to see and feel your friend being employed in the perfect position that he wants to be in. You have to see him as having more than you've ever seen him have before. And this is something that you have to stir up a feeling of. You have to persuade yourself to feel that this is the truth. And in due time, just like a seed planted in the ground, it will ripen to harvest. And that same friend that was unemployed will now become employed in a better state of mind. Watch this. See, that state of unemployment that your friend fell into is still there. It still exists. So anybody else can fall into that state. And there are millions and millions of people that are in that state right now. And there are still many millions of people that wish and desire to get out of that state. And there's some people that don't desire to get out of that state. And some of you know them. Some people choose to be on welfare. Some people choose to get food stamps and let the government take care of them. Ooh, I'm not talking to somebody. I know some of them. But it's a state of mind. And if your friend chooses to be in a state of employment instead of unemployed, then that's a state that can be created. You create that for him in your mind, and he creates it for himself. And the Bible says, wherever there are 2 or 3 gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Imaginal acts become facts. If you just get in the room, this is the Secret Law of Attraction Club. I am the Rise Global. And tonight, we're learning how imaginal acts become facts. If you're new to the room, make sure you add yourself as a member to the club. We do this room every single day. Guys, I got some amazing news. We now have a subscription service for the Secret Law of Attraction Club. So all of the wonderful messages you've been getting every night for the last few months, we have it all in one place where you can listen to it over and over again on your own time without the clubhouse resets. Yes, without the clubhouse resets. And I always advise for people to listen to it when you're exercising, when you're driving to whatever location you're going to, play it for your kids, your nieces, your nephews. Whenever you're doing your thing, just keep these messages replaying, because it's all about repetition, and your life will dramatically change. So if you're interested in getting that, just go to my Instagram, and I have the link in my bio. You'll see it on the website. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Imaginal acts become facts. So how do we create the states of mind that we want to be in? Whether that be prosperity, love, peace, abundance. How do we create that in our worlds? And y'all know me, I like to keep things as simple as possible. You create these states through your imagination. See, your imagination is in a state. Your imagination is God. God is everything. God is all imagination. And God is within you. Why do you think that you have burning desires in your heart? Why do you think that you get these visions of this life that would be so beautiful to live? Why do you think you get these intuitions and hunches about things that you should do and places that you should be? And you got to start believing in these things, because that is God working within you. So I ask, do you believe that imagining creates reality? And if your answer is yes, then congratulations, because to the degree that you believe and are self-persuaded that you can be anything that you desire to be, then you will become the exact embodiment of that thing. Have any of you ever heard of William Blake? If you haven't, I want you to check him out. William Blake said something really interesting. He said, I do not consider either the just or the wicked to be in a supreme state, but to be every one of them states of the sleep with the soul may fall into its daily dreams of good and evil when it leaves paradise following the serpent. So what does this mean? It means that we came into this life to experience death. Everything is born, everything lives, and then everything dies. Everything appears, it stays for a while, and then it disappears, right? So everything dies in this world. And the last state of mind that we have to overcome is death on this earth. But don't get it confused, because death on this earth does not mean spiritual death. See, your spirit and your soul is immortal. Your spirit and your soul is all imagination. And that imagination is God Himself. There is no other God. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. You shall have no other gods before me. God actually became I am, so I may be as He is. Oh, so God became man. He didn't pretend to become man. You can't pretend and influence anything on this earth. You have to embody and completely become man to forget that you are God. Oh, and that's what we all have done. We are the God that became humanity so that humanity can become God. Mm. So when you get the full grasp of these states of mind, then you can forgive anybody and everybody for anything that they may have done to you. Because you'll understand that they only fell into a state and they're just representing the state that they're in at the moment. And some of us have friends or people that we know that have fallen in the state of being a scammer, right? And they're actually enjoying being in that state. They think they're doing amazing, much better than if they were waking up every morning and going to work and making $8 to $10 an hour, right? He think he's doing fine. He think he has it all. But wait, hold up. Now here comes the consequences of being in that state, right? Is he willing to pay the price to be in that state? 10 times out of 10, he is not. And he doesn't regret the state that he was in. He just regrets that he got caught. Oh, just think about it. You will not meet one scammer that got caught that regrets that they were a scammer. They only regret the fact that they got caught. They're just trying to figure out what did they do wrong so that if it happens again, then they'll be aware so they won't get caught. So, guys, we're all in states of mind. Everybody is in a state of mind. And it's beautiful when you know it, when you know that you're in a state, because when you know it, then you can deliberately take yourself in and out of the states that you choose to be in. So if you want to be in a state of prosperity, you have to ask yourself some questions. What would it be like to have prosperity? What would the feeling be like if it was true? How would I act if I was rich? How would I eat? What are the type of people that I would be hanging with? How would I spend my time if I was rich? Guys, it's as simple as persuading yourself that you already are all of these things that you wish to be. Yes, it's that simple. And it's sad at the same time because very few people in this world right now are capable of imagining anything. If you could just believe in the reality of your imagination, your life will change tremendously.
Grand Awakening, Grand Risings, guys. Just wanted to see how you were doing this morning. I got a lot to do. I was just doing a little meditating and relaxing, looking to get my day started. And I said, let me just hop on here and let you guys actually hear a little bit of some motivational things that I felt were pretty inspiring. And kind of, that was pretty much it. So I'm actually about to get out of here. I will be playing a song or two, and that'll be it. Free your mind, and we'll go from there.
Here I find myself again, traveling only in my head. From the past to future play, for a change, yeah. My emotions are valid, but the goal is not to reach the sky every time. Never mind, it's just me. It's okay, insanity. Today's perfect peace now forever and always be present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even the tide and the current start to shake. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go. It's time for me to become the balance between problem solving and the universe working itself out. All that I have is all that I need to actualize it. I came down, no doubt. My emotions are valid, but the goal is not to be triggered every time. Never mind, it's just that it's okay for my sanity. I choose peace and I'll forever and always be present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even in the tide and the current start to share. I am adaptable. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's time for me to become present. I honor God when I honor me. I honor God when I honor you. You honor God when you honor me. If you don't honor God, how could you honor me? Honor me.